already getting late and the sun is going down, but I have done a little bit of tinkering with the couple hours I have had here and there on the E36, and so far I have found a Driveshaft solution. And what I did was I ran the JTR adapter flange that goes on the diff, but I ran the JTR flange that bolts to the diff, and then it has a 1310 universal joint flange to a stock F-body drive shaft, which I believe the drive shaft that I needed was roughly around 47 inches or so, and the F-body one was 45, I believe. So what I did temporarily, and if it works great, I will leave it in. If it doesn't, I will just get a drive shaft made, a extended GM yoke, 27 spline yoke for the front of the drive shaft, and it has proper engagement. It does look weird because it sticks out of the the transmission a little bit from what I read online. Some people say it's going to be fine. Some people say you're going to have a vibration. We'll see. Like I said, worst case is a drift car. It won't be on the street. I'm going to put a drive shaft loop in it just in case. But if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I will get a drive shaft made after everything's together and the car is running. But I wanted to let you guys know that I have a new company that's working with us. So thankfully, Evil Energy, they do fuel systems, AN fittings, fuel lines, filters, pumps, everything that you need pretty much for a fuel system and your race car or whatever you're like doing. They are a up and coming company and they are expanding every day. So luckily they were awesome enough to come on board and help us out with the E36. But this kit here is supposed to be able to handle upwards of 600 horsepower, and it's extremely simple. So I have a in pump, fuel pump in the E36. We're gonna use stock gas tank and stock fuel pump hat, or whatever they call the assembly. And then we're just gonna put an aftermarket, like I think it's a 325 or something pump in it. Pretty much an F-body, upgraded F-body pump. We're gonna run a C5 regulated filter, and this makes everything extremely simple. So this is like the LS hack if you are trying to be budget and or you have like old hot rod or whatever. Everyone is doing this. So this is a 58 psi internally regulated filter assembly from a C5 Corvette. So what that means is your fuel will go in, it self-regulates what you need. Your 58 psi or 60 psi is going to come out of the feed side, go to the engine, back to the filter, and it regulates and pushes the fuel that you don't use back to your tank. So you only need one fuel line going to your engine, and it does all the regulating and the return out of this housing itself. So if you're doing a swap, or you're in need of some space and you don't want to carry a bulky regulator, or you're just trying to be extremely simple, this is the way to go. So they sent us one of these. It's pretty cool. It comes with the AN GM adapted fittings, so I can run AN lines off of the stock C5 filter, and then the quick disconnect. Oh, sorry. So I don't know if you guys seen that, but these are pretty cool. These are the quick disconnects for the GM style fittings. So hold on one second. It's really cool how these work. So it's like a normal AN fitting for the GM style. You slide it over the barbed fitting here on the bottom, and then the AN piece, and this is really difficult to do with one hand. So this fitting goes on here, and then the little AN piece, this piece here, screws in, and there's a O-ring in here. Let me see if you can see it. Yeah, so there's an O-ring inside of the fitting that crimps it, and it works fine. So this is the system I am currently going to be running on my LS swapped E36, just for, like I said, we're not doing anything crazy. We're just running stock fuel pressure, and I'm not doing E or anything crazy like that right now. I just want to get the car up and running and as simple as possible. So huge shout out to Evil Energy for coming on board and helping us out with this. And I believe this is going to be great. Check valves. It has everything you need to do it properly. I already have the fuel rails in the car, so it's running you know, the feed and then the return back to the stock return line on the E36. So I'm going to cut the factory lines, put a crimp them or put a flare, and then run a fitting to adapt to an AN. So it'll be stock lines adapted to AN here, feed and return, and then one line from this filter up to my fuel rail. Simple as it can be. That's it. It's going to be done. So hopefully I have enough sunlight to pull the fuel pump out, put in my new pump, and just tinker with it while I still have some sunlight. I know the videos kind of jump all over the place, but it is what it is. I actually wasn't going to film it at all, but I already started filming, so figured why not just show the progress of everything to keep everyone in the loop on what's going on. I know I suck at filming, especially this project, because I have very little time currently, and it's, as you can tell, it's already about to get dark. So it's like rush, get done what we can, go in, take a shower, go to sleep so you can go to work in the morning. And if I film, it takes up like half the time. So where are we at? I think the last time I left off, I got the fuel pump in and modified the stock hat. Extremely simple. It's been done a million times on YouTube. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. But we ran a 250, like a Walbro 255, and modified the hat to accept the pump and the filter and the sock and everything. That's all back in the car. That's good to go. Getting ready to cut out the trans tunnel for the AR5. This is the truck AR5, not the Solstice AR5. So the shift, the whatever they call this thing. Usually, like with the Solstice, you can run the adapter to bring it back to here, and this is the truck one, so you can't do that. So the shifter actually goes like right here, which sucks, but I'm just gonna cut it nice and neat so I can make a plate and make all that work properly. Oh yeah, let me show you guys the fuel system. So once again, huge shout out to Evil Energy. They helped out a ton with all of this stuff. I actually just ordered some more fittings myself. All right, so true definition of driveway boys. It's on jack stands and I am under the car. So what we did was we removed this entire E36 fuel filter and regulator setup. It's over in the trash already, but it's massive. It literally takes up this entire area. With the filter is like 12 inches long for whatever reason. But so as I explained, I am running, this is a C5 Corvette fuel filter. If you know LS's or hot rods or anything, this is usually what everyone runs because it's internally regulated. So it has feed that goes in, it goes to the engine, and it self-regulates in the filter and sends fuel back to the tank that you don't use. Extremely simple, extremely effective. I know people that are making 500-600 horsepower on a similar setup to this. Obviously bigger pump and stuff, but this is tried and true. Like, it works a lot. I'm not going for 1,000 horsepower. So this is extremely simple. If I ever have a failure, I can go to an AutoZone anywhere, and get a filter and you know, put the car back on the track if I need to. It mounts to the factory spot. It comes with this bracket. So this is the factory feed on the E36 that would go into the filter. There's about 4 inches of fuel line factory here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this back like I did this one, and they sell a compression union to AN fitting. So I'll be able to run a AN line from where I'll probably do it further back here, but I'll be able to run an AN line, a 6 AN from the feed and the return to the filter, and have, so it'll be stock fuel tank, stock fuel lines to probably about here, so I can retain this factory fuel line mount so everything's secure. And then we'll go AN from here to the filter. And then what I was thinking, because the headers, this is kind of hard to see, but the headers will come down and they kind of go at an angle about right here. And they're a 3-inch collector on both sides for the Y pipe. And they sit about here-ish, maybe a little further back. But the factory line runs from here up this little hump and into the engine, but my headers will like heat and fuel scare the shit out of me. So what I did was I ordered a 90 degree 6 AN. So I'm gonna run a 90 out, P-clamp the AN here. There's already a bolt up here, and then run it on top of the transmission up by the bell housing to the fuel rail, just to keep it away from all of the heat and the headers and all of that stuff. So once again, it's going to be a pain to feed it, not horrible, but I won't have to do a ton of heat management against my fuel rail, my fuel lines, and that works for me. I'd rather do that and fight with a fuel line getting up to the bell housing than deal with a fire later on. So this is the current setup, and this is what we're going to do. While I'm under here, I already inserted some pictures and stuff of the drive shaft, or I just go over it here again. So I'm going to put a safety loop here and retain the where the carrier bearing, or I guess it would be a carrier, but where the carrier bearing, grommet, whatever it's called on the BMW goes here. I'm gonna build a loop here to just in case it fails, it doesn't fall out of the car. We'll stop it from dragging the ground. So this is a stock like F-body Trans Am Camaro SS, like 01 to, what is it, 99 to 01, I think, only. But it has the JTR flange at the diff, so that, and then converted to a 1310 universal joint. So the F-body drive shaft is already 1310. So it was literally just buying a 1310 U-joint and bolting it to the JTR diff flange, and then running the F-body drive shaft here, and the stock yoke is 4 inches, so it only gave me about 1 inch of engagement. I went on Amazon and bought this 27 spline GM, once again 1310 flange with a new U-joint. Came with the U-joint too, and this is 6 3/4 inch, so I get more than 3 inches of engagement here. This should work. It's from what I read online, it may cause like a little vibration at highway speeds. If it's gnarly, obviously I'll get a drive shaft built for it, but for the I'm gonna give it a shot. It was only like $100 drive shaft, and in theory it should work fine. We'll see. I know a lot of people probably against it, but I'm willing to give it a shot and risk it failing on me. And if it works, you guys, like, if you want to LS swap your E36, keep this in mind. Literally a junkyard drive shaft at $100, and it's spinning, everything's spinning. So I ended up having to, well, I don't have to, from what the manufacturer of the exhaust manifolds says that I'm gonna go with. I'm thinking about just going with the CX Racings, because these Kentucky V2 mounts are designed to work with the CX Racing exhaust manifolds, and they say it clears with ABS. ABS did not work in my car to begin with. All of the ABS sensors and everything are already cut, so it just looked really tight. I wanted to get it out of the engine bay, so I removed the ABS pump and capped off these brake lines for now until I get the fittings to do the ABS delete, and I'll tuck all this stuff further over. Probably still going to run the E190 booster, because the fitment is really, really tight back there, and I kind of just want it to be simple and easy to work on in the case that something goes wrong at the track or whatever. Like, I can get in, I can fix something without it just ruining the entire day. So I pulled the harness back off. I'm going to go in and depin a bunch of stuff that I am not going to use on this car, like the transmission stuff and all of that, because it's manual and I don't need any of it, and I just want it to be simple, clean, plug and play, get it over with now. And yeah, just kind of tinkering as we go, but we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. This video was obviously not for views or clicks or anything like that, but this is for the couple of people that have been messaging me, asking me where I was and what was going on. Just been working. Nothing new there. I work a lot. I'm a workaholic, and have a lot of bills to pay, so I don't mind working, but it does suck, stuff like this. But I have some time off coming soon. I have a lot of stuff to get done, and I am super excited. The next update, realistically, me and my buddy Justin already test fitted radiator and fans. It all fits. It looks great. We're in the process of just finalizing everything, cleaning it up, making sure everything is tightened to spec, a power steering line and a fuel line, headers, and a couple small odds and ends before this thing is ready to drive down the street under its own power. So it's really close, guys. I just wanted to update you guys and let you know this is where we're at with it. The next update will probably be, I don't know, it depends when I have time, but in a couple weeks, and we should be really close to this thing being off jack stands and at least moving under its own power. So make sure you guys stay tuned. I'm going to be attempting to be a little bit more active on YouTube this year. I just have to get a couple of these giant projects done so I can concentrate on that and kind of put a little, I guess, I don't know, little effort into a schedule of filming and editing and doing all that stuff. So till then, guys, huge shout out to Evil Energy for helping me out with a fuel system, and hopefully there's more to come with this company, as they are very generous in helping me out, and Max Speeding and Rods, everyone involved in helping me out. I got a big package coming from Max Speeding in the next couple of days that is going to help finalize this too. So make sure you guys stay tuned. That one's going to be a good one. But till then, I'll see every one of you on the next one. Peace.